Adrian Garcia Bogliano.
Thank you.
So, how did this film come about, Adrian?
This is as I said before, a project that the producers of the film approached me with the script. Right, I think it was right before we started making Here Comes the Devil. I'm not sure, but it was something that they were trying to make in a different way from other films that they produced. They made a bunch of films like House of the Devil or Stakeland, but this was a different kind of project because they already had a script and they were trying to find the right director and trying to put all the pieces together. So they approached me with the script, and I was really surprised. I've been reading lots of scripts for the past 10 years or so, and most of them are really bad. Like when you got one of those, it's like nobody else wanted it, you know. And I was surprised. I was surprised because there was a lot of humanity and a lot of interesting elements besides, the practical effects and all that kind of things that I was able to do.
Did you always want to do the effects practically rather than using CGI?
Yeah, I mean, I always wanted that, but luckily the producers were the one asking for that before I had to ask for it. So that was good, because when that line of the budget grew and stuff like that, it was their request. So I had it gave me more freedom to ask for some specific things that I wanted, like the transformation scene. I wanted to shoot it in a very particular way. I knew right away that I wanted to try something completely different from, An American Werewolf in London, The Howling, that kind of stuff. That it's great, but at the same time, I feel that it made things very difficult for directors over the past 30 years. Because it's difficult to try to imagine a different way to make a transformation after that. And I wanted to do something different. I'm not gonna say, to try to raise that bar, because that bar is amazing, but try to do something that it's, that you can compare so easily. And that was a very difficult process. The way we shot that scene, we made it with very expensive equipment, with motion control that you generally don't get for an independent movie. And it took a couple of days shooting, and producers were kind of nervous with that, because I don't think nobody ever understood what the shot was going to look like when we stitched all the pieces together.
A couple from you guys, got some DVDs if you ask a question. There we go.
Yeah, what was it like working with Tom Newman? Is he as crazy as he says he is?
Yes. No. He's a very sweet guy. He's really peculiar. He's very tall. So when you talk to him, it's like, I don't know. You kind of get nervous. He just looks at you and he's like analyzing every single word you're saying, and you better not say something to disturb him. No, but once that you go through that first part of him trying to see what kind of guy are you, after that he's a really sweet guy, and I've worked with a lot of great actors, but Tom is of a very peculiar type, because even if you're looking at him, at this distance, you probably will not notice what he's doing. He's so subtle. He knows exactly where the camera is, and how much he has to do for the camera. So you might not even perceive what he's doing in person. You will later see it on a big screen. It's fantastic.
Okay. Right in the middle.
How much input did the actors have on their characters?
I'm
How
sorry.
much did, how much,
input did the actors have on their characters, the lead actors?
Well, the one who had more input in his character is obviously Nick, the lead actor. Nick came with the project. That was one of the few conditions that the producers had. And I was cool with it in terms of, I knew that he was a great actor. I wasn't so sure about his age. But then I later on I realized that it was a great idea to have him because, with the makeup and the characterization, he could look a bit older, but at the same time he could be doing physical stuff that older people would probably not be able to do. And he's also, very good at making his own stunts and a lot of stuff that for an independent movie like us, it's really great. It gives the movie a lot of production value because you're seeing him performing all this stuff. Some of that seems to be easy, but it's not so much. And Nick is also a writer. He's a writer of We Are What We Are, of Cold in July, and he from that point he's someone very interesting in terms of what he can add to the character. Once he took that character, he was proposing a lot of things, like I don't think he should say this in this way, or proposing actions and things that I thought, some of them were great, some others were completely crazy, and I said no. But then some others, like the thing that he here for the ear, to hear, what I mean. Yeah, that thing. Well, that was something that he proposed, and I thought it was a great idea, very visual in a way.
Okay, one more, right in the front.
How much was the whole budget, and how much of that was on the special effects?
I don't really know the whole budget because I was hired for the movie, so it's kind of difficult to know. But I think that I estimate that the budget for special effects might be like probably a fifth part of. I mean, in terms of how many things it required, because we had two teams for special effects. One specifically for the werewolf that was made by Bob Kurtzman, who's complete, an absolute master. And there was then another team for the gore effects and for all the characterization of the leading character. And then we had, other types of effects, like the physical effects, like the werewolves flying around and stuff like that. So it was, I know that it was a big chunk of the budget for sure.
And Adrian, what's next for you?
I just finished shooting a new movie. It's called Scherzo Diabolico. That is a diabolical joke. It's a movie that I just made in Mexico, again with Francisco Barreiro, who was the lead of Here Comes the Devil, and another amazing actors, Jorge Molina, who was one of the leads of Juan of the Dead, and many other great actors that I was really excited to work with. And I was, I really wanted to come back to make a movie in my language, and a movie with lots of blood and lots of sex. I was missing that.
So watch this space for next year for
Absolutely.
FrightFest. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Adrian Garcia Bogliano.
Thank you.